Yes, lads, welcome back to another tactics video on the channel. Today, we're going to be revisiting the 4-3-2-1 and the changes we've made since the patch. Let's go. So getting straight into the tactics, I am of the opinion that this is the best formation going forward in FIFA 23 bar none. I've tried so many different formations at this point. This one seems like it works the best. From the tactics you're about to see, it'll attack as a 4-3-2-1, but the reason why it's so good is because of the instructions that we place on our players, it defends in a 4-4-2, which is insane. So let's just dive straight in. The defensive style, we don't put on press after possession loss or constant pressure. We leave that strictly on balance. If I'm losing, I may flip over onto press after possession loss, and if it's really late, then constant pressure. But as a standard, we leave it on balanced. The width we leave on 50. I think the formation itself is quite narrow anyway, so you are clogging up the middle where a lot of the issues arise. But as you said, it defends in a 4-4-2, as you will see from the instructions in a second. So you cover those wide areas as well, which is very important. The depth, we used to play on 72 before the patch. Since then, yeet over the top through balls are going crazy. So anywhere between 55 and 60, I think, is the most desirable at the moment. I wouldn't go any higher just because those over the top through balls will kill you at the moment. The build up play, we leave this on balanced. I don't really rate any of these other tactics, to be honest. Just balanced. I think it, for the sake of overcomplicating it, it's just the best. Chance creation, direct passing as always. It just helps push your opposition's defenders into the box, and it allows you to get easy cutbacks. I mean, if you're not using one thing from these tactic videos, is that I would adopt the direct passing for sure. The width we leave on 50. We don't change that either. The width in this formation is created by our custom tactics. So you'll see, because the formation itself is quite narrow, but we do create a little bit of width with this, which is very important. Players in the box we have on 7. This helps with one of the midfielders getting more involved with the play, helping out with our 3 attackers. So I find that's quite important. And then corners we leave on 1 and 1. It's just for the sake of avoiding getting counter-attacked every single game. It's just not fun getting counter-attacked off free kicks and corners all the time. So this is where it gets really important. So the idea is, as I said earlier on, we're going to attack in a 4-3-2-1 as the formation setup, but we're going to defend in a 4-4-2. And to allow this, we start the striker. The striker and my left forward, you can reverse this, so you could do the right forward come back on defense, or the left forward come back on defense, but the other one needs to be stay forward. So they're your 2 main men. So ideally your 2 best forwards, so mine is Brolin and AYYLP, will both stay up top. JJ Okocha comes back on defense. The 2 central midfielders, your 2 more defensive guys, we have those on stay back while attacking and cover center. So they're going to drift more centrally. Neymar, our more attacking midfielder, is on cover wing, and everything else on balance. You don't need to change anything else. You could probably change this to get into the box for crosses, which is quite nice, but balance is fine as well. But most importantly, he covers wing. So what's going to happen, as you can see, when you don't have the ball, Neymar is going to move out to the left. Vieira and Rabiot are going to move central, and then Okocha is going to drop in to midfield when you're defending next to Rabiot, creating a 4-man midfield of Neymar, Vieira and Rabiot, which is so effective. It's so fun as well. And then when you recover the ball and you go back on the attack, you'll then fall back into this formation. Come back on defense doesn't mean that Okocha is not going to be forward. It just means he's going to help out when you don't have the ball. It is important you keep these 2 on stay forward, though, because it kind of messes it up if you don't. But again, you could rotate it. You can have Neymar on this side and then have AYYLP come back. But I'd rather have someone a bit more creative coming back and having your 2 best forwards stay up top. The centre backs, you don't really need to do anything with these because if you do, you're a lunatic. It's pointless. Keeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So a little bit of an additional change to it. I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's good for claiming corners now and again. And then creating width in this formation, we have one of our fullbacks stay back while attacking and overlap. If you want him to attack, you can always toggle it on the D-pad with up and left. So that works perfectly. And then a more attacking fullback, so Serginho Dest for me, is on just balanced and overlap. So what's going to happen then? He's going to assist with the support. He's going to assist with getting forward and creating some width on this right-hand side. So it's going to be an out ball for me on most attacks. And it's really, really good for helping break down teams. So not a lot of people know how to deal with the fullback coming forward. Obviously, if you want Mendy to go forward as well, you can target it on the D-pad, but I only like the one to go forward, to be honest. Otherwise, I find myself getting a bit too exposed. Offensively, the 4-3-2-1 is unmatched in this game. It's unreal. I would definitely recommend you give it a go if you've not already. When you are winning a game or if you feel like you're a bit too exposed, I do recommend using a couple of other formations just to help you see out games. It's not ideal to stay in one formation the entire game. Click, punch, bite the link here for the 4-2-3-1 custom tactics. Cheers.